most fascinating, because we don't spend time on the bash beasts. Because why would we? We don't want to be there. We want to be moving on. Yeah, so we wouldn't. If we were gonna pause the game at all, we probably wouldn't be standing on the bash beast. That's really, really funny.
That is awesome.
Oh my! I am very much looking forward to running this now because Ice World is the worst, and now you guys will get to see why.
It's fun to play, but it's definitely the longest of the 5 levels.
Yeah, I mean, when I say worst, like, I like this game. I like playing this game a lot. In terms of the speedrun, this level being, like, by far the longest, the most drawn out, the most chances to die.
So now what's the weapon called? It's not the Spacer anymore?
Wave Beam.
Wave
Yep,
Beam?
wave beam.
Oh, wave beam.
It is the Wave Beam, yes.
And of course, you still have Spacer equipped, so you got the beam combo.
I love beams, and I love beam combinations. The only thing that can make this better for me is some orbs. Are there any orbs in this game?
Nothing's...
You get something like Power Bombs pretty soon. I came up with Super Metroid equivalents for everything at some point, because it's basically Super Metroid.
Yeah, so we call these glare flingers. You just point and launch yourself.
I think in the speedrun community we came up with catapults for these.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they are.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, there's no like official name for most of the stuff in this game. We just have like the dev names that we called everything. Like these guys are bats. Like the guys that are just chasing me around are bats, and the things that are shooting at me are flowers.
Anyway, I need to think of excellent names for every enemy and object in the game. That's one of my special powers.
So
Special power,
that
huh?
section that he just went through, we saw that there were a bunch of enemies all clustered right there, and it was like super dangerous. That's just the first of many of those in this level. Oh, so right there, when you came out of that pipe,
Yeah.
there's a frame-perfect, pixel-perfect jump where if you lean to the left and then get a double jump along the way, you can go into the pipe.
Oh, okay. So you can skip this part too.
You can skip this part.
Well,
This-
you wouldn't even need to do this part if you get the Bash Beast skip
That
figured
is
out.
absolutely true. But yeah, so that was basically the task jump that Cactus found. And this puzzle section only takes about like 45 seconds, so it's not a huge save.
Oops. Dang it.
Yes, this section is also ridiculously dangerous. And of course, if you try to do it fast, like, the thing about lanterns is if you try to quickly navigate lanterns, you're more likely to get a lantern boost. And if in that section, covered in spikes, if you get a lantern boost, you're gonna have some problems. And this section is what we affectionately call the gauntlet. And when I say affectionately, what I mean is I hate this section. Fuck this section. Because of those things. Yeah. Yeah.
Chompy's feeling hungry.
So now you want to try to do that fast. Good luck.
Oh wait. Shoot. You can actually just drop down there.
Yeah.
I forgot. When I was watching somebody stream this, they kept trying to jump down that because they didn't see that there was a gap in the wall there.
Oh yeah, no. Not only did Puek still do that? I think I did that.
Wouldn't
when
yeah.
I played it.
And unfortunately, this game is pretty good about like making it relatively easy to figure out where you're supposed to go, even if actually doing it isn't necessarily easy.
Yeah, there were
But-
not too many times when I had that issue.
But yeah, there's a couple spots in this level where just like the way the lighting is makes it harder to see where you're actually supposed to go, which is unfortunate because remember how I mentioned that the Unity engine would choke trying to edit levels this big? Well, a light bake in a level this big takes literally 18 hours.
Wow.
Unsurprised.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's we tried to not touch the lighting as much as possible.
Yeah, and it's again, it's few and far between that there are issues like that, so it's really a testament to what they've done, particularly, like, so as a developer, if you're under that sort of restriction, I mean, he said, you know, touch the lighting as little as possible.
Wow. Those enemies
Wombo
did not want
combo.
any of that.
I mean, what he really means by touch the lighting as little as possible is, like, they did the lighting, and probably were like, let's never have to change this again.
Yeah, I mean, we knew where we wanted to have lit, and once we got the geometry in place, we basically only did light bakes if somebody found something really heinous. Like, there were a couple of times when, like, a light bake would bug out and suddenly we'd have, like, an entire section of the level that was purple.
Ooh, wow.
And
Yes.
Not the intended color, though.
Yeah. So, given that, like, how good the level is, yeah, how all the levels are, is pretty impressive. And now here's Cannonball Alley, a name that I literally just made up.
Get up there. Okay, good. Wow, that could have
It's a boost.
that could have ended very badly.
Good boost.
Okay, so this is another part where people got stuck because we actually added this lantern in later because people didn't realize that there was a zip line up there.
Yeah.
And so they kept trying to launch themselves all the way over here and just not making it. I bet you could with
You
enough.
can. You totally
Okay,
can.
yeah.
In fact, that was the first way that I did it, was to just launch myself.
Okay, then.
I knew the zipline was there. I was just like, no.
Right. Yeah, we added that lantern in later when we realized how many people were getting stuck there just because they didn't realize there was a zip line up there because they couldn't see it. It's like we actually spent a lot of time like tweaking the camera. Like most of the time the camera's just kind of following you, but there's all kinds of parts of this level where we just had to kind of manually override the camera to make sure that you could see what we wanted you to see, and that was one of them. But
You can see subtle differences in the way the camera is angled as you go.
yeah, they spent a lot of time trying to get that right. So, I can't remember if you can actually shine through.
You can.
It's pretty hard, I think.
It's
So I'm gonna
I think
try
the
it.
word I want is dumb. Basically, it's not difficult, but it's inconsistent.
Right.
Like
Well, it's not
sometimes it'll-
intended, so I'm not feeling too broken up about that.
Yeah. There's like a spot in the wall where you can clip the light through. In,
Oops.
as you said, unintended way.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind if like people find stuff like that, and I'm not gonna like go rush to fix broken stuff like that that lets you skip unintended stuff. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be upset if some crazy trick somebody finds is actually like really hard to execute.
Wow.
I jumped a little too late
A
there.
little late, yeah.
Just a bit.
You ended up catching like your feet on the spikes.
Yeah.
So the thing about spikes in this game is they're very generous. Like if you basically, if the edge of your hitbox touches one, your hitbox is your entire model, you are dead. And-
Well, it's like the opposite of generous.
Generous for the spike.
Yeah.
yeah, it's generous for
They
the
love
spikes,
it.
not for you.
If you're a spike.
So now I'm curious, did you guys actually just use a simple capsule collider at all, or did you guys actually make the entire mesh collider?
I don't remember off the top of my head, actually. I mean, the art for the character was done pretty early on. Dang it. So there were a lot of placeholders early on in development for just like spheres and whatnot that eventually turned into proper models. But wow, did I seriously just catch that edge?
Yeah.
And then
So-
walk into the spikes?
Frame
You are
perfect
you are
chokes.
seeing right here why speedrunners dislike this level so much, because it's
Oh.
very
Okay, that's right.
very easy to die a whole lot. Like UA is not even playing particularly horrible. Like not super great.
Thanks,
just-
I think.
A glowing endorsement.
yes, I really bring out the praise in all appropriate occasions. But yeah, like it's just a dangerous long
Yeah.
slog.
Even without the skip in Area 5, this is the longest level in the game.
Yeah, I think lava without the skip was like on the order of 15 or 16 or something.
Yeah, I want to say that we have achievements for beating, the levels within a certain number of minutes, and I want to say the achievement for ice is 19. I don't remember
I
off
think
the top of my
I think
head.
that's right, 19 and a half or 19 or something.
Yeah. There's also an achievement for getting through the entire game without dying, which one of our developers managed to get within about an hour and a half of release.
That's nice.
Crazy bastard, but he did it. For a while, he was one of the guys who he was trading back with our head artist for who had the fastest time.
So to establish how ridiculous that achievement is, none of the speedrunners have it yet. even for trying. So, Human Fist and the Angry Panda for a couple days were trying for no death runs. Although they were also sort of doing like speedrun style strats. So yeah, you could if you were a little less.
Yeah, I'm sure if you weren't trying to speedrun the game, you might be able to do the.
Yeah, if you were less
No deaths.
aggressive, it would be easier. But it's still really hard.
Yeah, well, he still managed to also get all of the time achievements in that same run, so.
Oh, in the same one. Okay. It's even more impressive.
The time achievements are actually like, unlike in a lot of games where the time achievement is just like, oh, whatever.
Ridiculous times.
Yeah, like, oh, no. Like, in a lot of games, the time achievement will be something, you know, like, oh, complete this level in like 4 hours or whatever. It's like a 2-hour level or whatever.
Yeah, like I think the grass world, the first world, tree world, sorry, not grass world.
Yeah.
The achievement for that's, I want to say 9 minutes, and I think the fastest time is like around 7.
Yes.
Oops.
Booster.
But, you know, that's with a lot of IL strats. Like, honestly, like, the IL time achievements in this game are actually pretty decent times. Like, if you get a sub 9 minute time in Tree World, that's actually pretty good. Ditto if you take any of the other achievements. Doing intended route, obviously, like, if you do a Lava World skip, you're gonna get the Lava achievement. I mean, you would have to botch that monumentally to not get that achievement if you did that skip.
You saved the animals.
I did.
So what do you guys call these? I think we call them owls. Or bats.
I think we just called them birds. Originally, they were like these weird, like rock platforms, but we decided that birds was a lot more interesting. That, and we wanted a game where birds weren't jerks for once.
Oh man, yeah.
They have their moments still.
Well, yeah, they can still troll you a little bit, but they're not intentionally jerks, and I missed that one because I was trying to kill this guy. So, a little while ago, I picked up the grenades. I don't know if anybody noticed.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just on a cooldown.
Yeah, you can fire one every like 2 seconds, I want to say. It's the you can't shoot your main weapon while you're also glaring, but you can throw a grenade, and you can actually you can actually grab the grenade as well
Oh,
and
nice.
fling it into people.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Nice mechanic.
Although it doesn't actually come in like specifically hitting the speedrun, but it's a really neat thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
Advanced grenade dunking stacks.
And the explosion on it's actually pretty big, like as far as knocking out those
Can
walls.
the explosion harm you?
No.
That's good. For you. That's less good for the spikes.
I don't think the spikes care about the grenade. I don't know if I can reach this now. Okay, just barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
Which is enough. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, usually I just grab it right away, but I somehow managed to miss it. That was I'm not sure if I can actually grab this now. I might have to just die. But nope, it worked.
This is. Exhausted.
You're not gonna be too tired for dinner, are you?
UA, if I am ever too tired for dinner, I authorize you to just put me in a coffin and bury me.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
And
No, you don't have to kill me. Just put me in the coffin and bury me. I'll take care of the rest.
Is there gonna be a coffin you've already made specially for this moment?
There will be a coffin.
so we're coming up
Yeah,
on
something inside
bird
the
section
coffin to
number
help
2.
you actually be in the coffin and not get out of it or something?
Basically, all these bird sections are really dependent on getting good timing with respect to the bird cycle. I think the bird cycles are based on when you start the level.
They reset when you hit a checkpoint, or when you respawn from a checkpoint. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like on a global timer from the level. I'd have to double check that, but that sounds right.
And actually, that doesn't even matter too much anyway, because really what's important is when you get the first one. And then basically, because they're all on a synchronized cycle, like whenever you get on the first bird, that's the cycle that you're gonna be on.
Yeah, so this part is actually like something we were concerned about because you're suddenly back where you were before, but now you can blow through this wall. Several people have accidentally gone through the tunnel again and had to do that like entire second half of the level again.
Jeez.
But thankfully, it seems to be a pretty small number of people who don't realize that, oh, wait a minute, I'm kind of playing a Metroid game almost. Oops.
That was close.
Jeez.
And the jump right in the
Fight a boss.
box number 4. Yes, so this boss removes the lasers, doesn't bring back the explosions. What this boss brings is the stupid little bombs.
Don't glare these. It's a trap. Seriously, don't glare these.
So if you
What happens?
They move faster.
Oh, they get
yeah,
mad.
they get repelled.
Yeah.
And then they just start going whoop, 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 all over the
I
Yeah.
want to
place.
see that happen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Fast.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they have a pretty substantial amount of health. And I feel like, but don't necessarily have evidence, that they drop health less frequently or not at all.
I think it might be not at all, actually. I'd have to double check that. I think they're the only thing you can kill that doesn't drop health.
So basically, those things are bulbs.
Maybe those are the holes I've been searching for.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Does the light bomb hurt the boss?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it compares to the gunshots, but it does hurt the boss.
I think you can fire it without costing yourself bullet time anyway. Right?
Yeah, you can shoot it while you're either glaring or shooting. One thing you have to be careful of is though, like your shots will set the bomb off, so you need to do it relatively close if you're firing at the same time. Otherwise, you'll just immediately set the bomb off.
Huh.
Which is a feature I kind of argued about. I felt like it would make more sense to have you hit the button again to set them off early, but I seem to be the only one who thought that
The
was.
sweet shot combos.
I seem to be the only one who thought that was actually a better idea. So.
That was ridiculously close.
Yeah, I almost died there a couple of times.
Not all development teams always agree on things, so.
Yeah, I mean, either one really works. It just, if I had my choice, I would have said hitting the grenade button again sets it off early rather than shooting it. But,
So that, as mentioned, longest level in the game.
yep. So yeah, if I mentioned before they found the other skip for this level, there's a battery way off to the right that you can actually bring back, and one of these ledges is not entirely solid. Like I forget exactly where the unsolid. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
You can battery boost yourself up to that ledge and jump off and like skip probably about a third of the level. But I think the skip they found skips even more of the level and is a lot easier to execute. So ends up not mattering that much.
Are you gonna play it as intended right now, though?
Yeah. I haven't actually practiced the skip that they found, so I'm not
So
gonna
you guys
try
gonna do
it.
the intended way.
Pretty
and,
much.
When he gets to the spot where the skip is, he'll actually go through that spot twice because there's an intended second pass through there.
Yeah.
We'll point out what that is.
So yeah, this is the battery I was talking about. If you can bring this all the way, oops,
Yeah.
I screwed that up. If you bring that all the way back to the start of the level, you can actually boost yourself over that wall there.
Incidentally, getting this thing back to the start of the level is surprisingly a huge pain.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it wasn't intended, so we kind of discovered it afterwards. Like, wait a minute, this isn't solid.
So in terms of challenge, Lava World is
Oops, what?
Wow.
I glared a little early and
Yeah.
launched myself out of the flinger there.
This level is reasonably straightforward, but it has some dicey rooms like that one that just make it deceptively difficult. Like you won't expect the difficulty when it starts telling you. Alright, so right here is where the main skip
I think
is.
I think you jump up here or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
would cross over to here. Normally, what you have to do is drop down and come back later.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure exactly
it
how the
just takes
skip
a
works,
while.
but you can get up there.
Yeah, you can find a highlight of that skip on my Twitch channel in my highlights somewhere. And it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fun fact, this area right here was actually where we originally introduced the snakes by having you fight 2 of them in an enclosed space. And we just realized that was actually just really cruel because they're really hard to fight in enclosed spaces.
Thank you for not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably when the first time I like did a full playthrough of the game, like when they had it when they had the geometry of the levels pretty much mapped out, I probably got stuck in that spot for about 10 minutes. So.
Also, I hope you guys took note of approximately what time it was when UA just went through that section I was talking about where you had to drop down. Because when we get back through there, you'll find out how much time that skip that we're talking about saves. Spoiler, it's a lot.
Whoops.
That was interesting.
Yeah, he didn't double jump right away. Maybe I'd already used it.
He like
I don't know.
slid off the ground. That was really weird.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the game, roller skating.
The roller skates.
No one's laughing about
Oh, you're
these
dying.
rules.
Whoops. Wow. Okay.
You lost all your momentum down there for
yeah,
some reason.
I think I didn't go far enough to the left because you do actually have to build up a bit of momentum or you won't get max speed, but it's not a lot, but it can be enough to surprise you sometimes. Okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
all the way. Yeah, see how much more easy, how much less of a margin for error I had. Oops, that's right. This part. Getting ahead of myself again.
I literally do not remember this section at all because
Well, you haven't played it in
yeah, I just
probably
haven't done
months.
it since the first time I played through basically.
Yeah, so imagine fighting these bouncing snakes in like that enclosed space I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, those are incidentally there's another very nice lantern burst. Those are my least favorite enemy. We will get to see them on the next boss too. Because
Oops, get out of there. Yeah, those actually gave us a lot of trouble coding them so that they wouldn't break their own necks trying to twist around on you.
Oh yeah.
We ended up having to write like an AI waiting routine to try to figure out, okay, which direction do I want to head in? It's like, okay, am I too close to a wall? Is the player too far or too sharp of an angle to turn directly around on him? Do I want to do a dive on him? They're actually like the most complex enemy in the game for a variety of reasons. We almost cut them out because we couldn't get them to work, and I was the hero and managed to save them.
why
Nice.
didn't you
Shout
go
outs
to
to enemy programming.
AI programming sucks.
Love it. Oh, it's so good. Every day when I wake up, I open
up
Palm Slam
So
and the AI into my VHS player.
this is the obligatory rising lava get up before it catches you or you die sequence.
Yeah, there's a few different paths you can take through that, and that was just like the standard one, I think.
Yeah, we never really invested a lot of time into figuring out optimal.
Lava gun. Auto scroll.
Yeah, this part actually originally had some lava chasing you as well, but we couldn't make it look good, so we dropped it because we realized it wasn't really that interesting for this part.
Thank you very much.
I mean, the problem is like we could either make it chase you really hard and make it really difficult, or you got so far ahead of it that it didn't matter. It's like, okay, and it doesn't look good anyway. But yeah, pitch it, whatever. It's like we have better things to spend our time on.
Bubbles. So, an interesting consequence of doing the cactus skip is that these bubbles appear in several areas in this level.
Oh,
And an interesting consequence of doing the cactus skip is that the bubbles don't appear anywhere.
yeah. I forget exactly where the trigger for these bubbles starting to spawn is, but if you do the skip, you just don't hit that trigger.
Yeah. So what you end up having to do instead
Come on.
is some rather precise wall jumps, and they're pretty fun. Like I really like the precise wall jumping. I like how well the wall
Oops.
jumping
Come on,
controls in this game. Everything feels good, so it just is rewarding to do wall jumps.
Slowest skate ever.
No momentum.
In theory, you can actually skate through this entire section, but like actually landing where you need to not lose the skate is pretty difficult.
especially given the fact that there's enemies there.
Yeah. This is where light bomb comes in pretty handy for some of these sections.
Yeah, never skimp on the light bomb.
Yeah, I remember when we were watching streams of people playing, they would always forget about the light bombs and was like, how do I deal with these swarms of enemies? Well, we gave you an explosive weapon. You just forgot about it.
Yeah, no, it took me a while to like remember on a regular basis that light bomb is in the arsenal. Once you do, you're just so happy all the time. I mean, except in this section. I mean, this section just kind of sucks. You're never happy here.
Just gonna grab this health here. Oops. Oh, get up. Oh, that was a net 0. Oh, good. There you go. Got more health.
Because of these guys. That was rather close. Other nice thing is grabbing a wall resets your wall jump. Sorry, your double jump. So,
Not get.
anytime you
Yeah,
need to
myself
jump
again.
extra, just touch wall. Nice.
Unfortunately, the cutscene resets your position, so. But as long as you can get it over onto that ledge in the first jump, it can save a bit of time.
So you might recognize this area.
Yeah, so the
because
bubbles
this
are
is where the
spawning
skip
now.
was. Now we have the bubbles. This is not actually where you need the bubbles to be able to do stuff. You can get up here totally easily. But yeah, this is where you would have gotten to if you'd done the cactus step. So, again, think back. How long has it been? It's probably been about 10 minutes. That is how much time we would have saved from that cactus step.
Half an hour? I haven't been playing that badly.
Literally
Oh, you got
an
the
hour
skip.
and
You got
15
the,
minutes from that one
time
skip.
fire.
Jeez, you eh?
Power grip.
Yeah, so
Yes.
now he has speed booster.
Yeah, full, like, before you had half the speed booster, now you have the full speed booster, and I screwed that up. Yeah, and I gotta run back. Yeah, because I need to get through this wall over here. There we go.
There's safety save. Taking a pause here.
This part's not that hard.
Just give you speed boost, then you basically don't have to.
Also, there's a checkpoint like right here.
Oops. Get down here. You actually have like a couple of seconds after you lose grip on the ball before the glare actually stops affecting it. I forget what the exact cutoff is, so it's pretty hard to lose control of the battery unless you're really screwed up.
So down there, you see that there are bubbles. This is where there would not be bubbles if you had done the cactus skip. And it actually makes this traversal
nice.
here really, really difficult. Unless you know kind of
Oh,
the
wait.
specific series of jumps to do off the walls. So we call that climb bubbleless. Because there's no bubbles. Really, really an uncreative name, but that's how we do it.
And also again, whoops, why did I drop off there? That was just my fault.
That was the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, I hit the wrong button. That was totally my fault.
Sometimes you just want to go for a swim in this place.
Sure, swimming is Spike's a good thing sometimes.
And now finally at the end of the level we have this. And this, for all intents and purposes, is RNG. It's not, but the cycle is you can't control.
Yeah. If you can get through that quickly, you basically got lucky. All right, I think I shoot. Where'd the battery go?
No, you didn't trip it.
Okay.